I wish they'd do that with Jean Grey from The Last Stand and just kill her. Keep her dead. Let Wolverine have hallucinations about her in the forest and then make friends with a bear.
Hey everyone, I'm Kris Carr.
I'm Logan Peets.
And today we are two filthy casuals. Logan is going to be filling in for Ms. Amy Newman. And we both know that getting into a new fandom can be intimidating, especially with all the gatekeeping out there.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to like shows or media or whatever that have such a storied history.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's why on this podcast, we have somebody come on, like Logan or myself, to explain a fandom to you so you can ask questions, dip your toe in sans judgment. Logie, what are we talking about today?
Talking about X-Men 97. There you go. I knew it would come out soon.
Yeah, call of my people. Is this a show you like, Logan?
Yeah, man. I fucking grew up on the original X-Men animated because, man, superhero cartoons were fire back then.
The 90s ones are so good.
X-Men the animated series.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Nobody watched it, but Silver Surfer I loved.
Silver Surfer was fun.
Yeah, it's only a season long.
Yeah.
What else was back then? Oh, and then you get into like
Batman,
the DC side of things, Batman, Superman, all the Justice League stuff. Static Shock was a big one for me.
Gargoyles, which I know is not superhero, but I loved.
I'd put it in there.
Yeah.
I'd put it in there.
I feel like it's part of the lineup.
Yeah, because it's like it might not be superheroes, but it's an adventure story.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing to focus on. Like in my brain, the reboot of DuckTales is the same.
Ooh.
I'm like, that is an adventure story. That's funny.
Well, and also a comic book adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got that. So, X-Men 97, if you are a person who has never seen or heard of this show,
Get out from under that rock!
What are you doing? No.
That's not where people live!
We're inclusive. We gotta make them feel good.
I'm telling them to get out of the rock.
Okay, yeah. Don't be Patrick Star.
Yeah. No.
Come on. There is some person, though, who's like, I don't know what that is. How would you describe the show?
Well, okay. That goes back to the fucking 60s. So it's about, there's this new evolution of humanity where they, when they're young and they're introduced to like a high level of stress or some traumatic event takes place, their mutant powers will activate.
They're being human beings who become mutants.
They're always mutants.
Okay, you just said they, and there was no explanation of what that pronoun was.
Because back then, you didn't know who was a mutant and who wasn't until they hit puberty, because that's when the mutation would kick in.
Click on.
Now that's quite a bit different.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a mutant like Nightcrawler who is born blue, you're like, yep, that's either a fucking demon or a mutant.
Yeah. If you were to explain this cartoon series, though, how would you talk about that?
It is such a love letter to 90s animation. And it takes place a few years after the end of the original series. And the dynamic has fucking changed a lot. You've got, team members that are floating in that used to be complete hated rivals. You have very weird alliances made and choices that lead to disastrous consequence. And you get them in that 90s costume that is like, I mean, I remember watching the first episode of the first season. I'm like, I had all these fucking action figures.
Yeah.
I had I have some here.
I had all the trading cards.
Oh man, I loved Marvel cards.
I'm so mad at myself for getting rid of those.
I still have all of mine in Lincoln.
Ugh. Well, you also know too that even if I had kept them, my parents have moved so much that they would have absolutely
they would have
gutted
been lost
them.
immediately.
They would have gotten rid of them so quickly.
Yeah.
When that house flooded and all of my books were lost, Mom was like, well, one less thing to pack.
Silver lining that, Marie.
She's always glass half full, which I love. Jeff's glass is always half full, but it's full of scotch.
Glass is half full of scotch and his enemy's tears. That's what Jeff drinks.
That's true. That is very, very true. I was such a huge fan of the original 90s series, and I think that 97 is, to your point, such a love letter. It really not only pays respect to the storylines and the comics, it also pays such love and care to the animation style.
The style, the voice acting.
Yeah, them
They
all, like
got
her.
they've got like people from the original cast. They've got a great, I guess, what is it called?
Sound alike? Voice
Yeah,
match?
it's like a group of actors who are great sound-alikes.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, uh, isn't Phil Lamar on it?
I'm not sure.
I'm not
I'd
sure
have to
either.
check that.
We'll have to check.
Yeah.
But like I mean, with our student, one of our students right now that we're coaching, he
Mhm.
just did that demo, and he sounds exactly like Phil Lamar.
Yeah.
Shout out Jay.
Yeah. But it's so cool to see all these original voice actors come back, to see that animation style that only is now using techniques and technology that we have now to just kind of improve the process,
Yeah, and
but
to
keep the aesthetic.
because the '90s one, if you go back and watch it, your memory is a lot cleaner than those shows actually.
Yeah.
Look, right? We're dealing with '90s cell hand-drawn animation,
Hmm.
and this just looks crisp. Another thing I want to talk about why I like '97 so much
Sure.
is because like we grew up with the original series. This show is not for kids, it's for us.
Yeah.
It's for the fans when they were children, and then when as a child it's like, oh, black and white, good guy, bad guy. And you get older and those black and whites start to look a hell of a lot gray.
Hmm.
And especially with how horrifying, frankly, the world is right now, it is hey, this can be a distraction, it can be an allegory, but it's for you guys.
Yeah.
Everyone else can jump on the boat, but this is for the kids who grew up waking up on Saturday morning, getting their cereal and their ass in front of on the floor in front of the TV, and was just like, dude, and I would tape them.
Oh yeah.
I would VHS record those. I had so many of those tapes.
Mhm.
I wonder where those are.
My parents did that for me sometimes. My big taping thing was I didn't get home in time for Toonami to be done. I'd miss all of it, so I'd tape, like Sailor Moon and Gundam and everything.
Right.
And that would
Tenchi?
be- Yes.
Love Tenchi.
Love
Muyo.
Tenchi Muyo. Ah, I think
More great '90s shows.
yes. Our programming. I mean, I know it's a little bit nostalgia, or it's probably a lot nostalgia, but they were good shows.
They were good
man.
shows. Right now, with the internet and social media and stuff like that. I mean, internet barely existed back then.
Yeah.
So there is so much content out there now, and that's great. That's a great thing. That's people working in the industry. That's animators animating. That's actors acting. That's directors directing. Producers producing. But back in the day, we didn't have any of that. But holy shit, were we spoiled for choice?
Yeah. 100% we were.
There are so many shows now that are like, okay, this appeals to like
This
this
demographic.
tiny TikTok demographic.
Well, and I was gonna say too, and I'm gonna sound like I'm 1,000 years old right now.
Oh,
I
try
feel-
me, bitch.
I feel like so many, particularly children's shows,
Mhm.
are just so bombastic, and they dysregulate your nervous system
and
in
they-
such a way that's ridiculous. Coco Melon. Have you ever sat through an episode of Coco Melon?
No.
I did because I've auditioned
Because-
for
yeah,
it.
and you did a
Ugh.
piece on it at once, didn't you?
No, that wasn't one of them.
Oh, okay.
No, back for Nerdwire. No, I didn't
Nerdwire,
do that
yeah.
one. I did some kids animation, but I think the youngest I skewed was probably Miraculous,
Oh,
and
that
that's
show's
fun.
good.
That's fun.
See, and to piggyback on your point here,
Mhm.
because there is all this media and kid shows you mentioned,
Just bombarding you with
They're-
noise and
because they're doing these shows because they're fast, they're cheap, and so they play to the lowest common denominator.
that's what it feels like.
Like even when we were getting older, we had shows that were for us as teenagers: Samurai Jack, Ed, and Eddie, that entire block of cartoon, that generation, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo. I mean, I could go on about that shit because
Hated Cow and Chicken.
I love Cow and Chicken.
Oh,
But like, I also grew up and we didn't have Disney Channel at our house.
which is wild to me. That's why we still need to watch all the Disney Channel
Small town
original
Nebraska
movies.
does not. The very very rich, like the doctor's kids had Disney.
Ooh.
So I'd go over to John's house and I'd be like, yeah, we're fucking watching Gargoyles. Because I was either at John's house watching Disney or my grandma had it.
Wow.
So, well,
Your grandma was rich? Smeagol grandma?
Yeah.
Whoa.
She was loaded, man.
Good for Smeagol grandma.
Yeah.
Should I explain that or no?
I think that can be for us. Fuck it.
I was gonna say, will your mom listen and be mad?
I call her Smeagol grandma to my mother too.
Okay.
When she was, grew up in Depression era. Medicine was.
Medieval.
I mean, yeah, it was a hope.
Yeah.
And spit on it. That'll heal it.
Ooh.
That era.
Yeah.
But when babies weren't coming out, being born, they would take forceps around the baby's head and, help yank them out.
Mm-hmm.
But what would happen 9 times out of 10 is it would pop their eyes out permanently. And so she had these big pop out eyes, and she wore a wig. So she had like the Smeagol hair. Every time she took a picture, she had one eye that kind of veered off. So anytime you see a picture of my grandma, she looks like this. She's not looking right at the camera. She's like, that eye, you stay back there.
I like to think
This
she
is
was
my
doing
foreground eye.
like an author's
It was
photo.
always pensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow, we got off track there.
Yeah. Is that why you fell in love with me, though? Because of my big-ass eyes falling out of my face?
Yeah, well, you're a Tim Burton character, for God's sake.
That's what I figured. Okay. Well, okay, so with the last season of X-Men,
Yeah.
X-Men 97, we had our
Season
season.
one.
And let's just do a really quick run through kind of the beats for folks.
And then, you'll see the difference between the original series and how now it's a lot darker and it's a lot more adult.
Yeah.
It is a lot more these people are really wrestling with their choices. Am I doing the right thing? Am I putting my hat in the right ring? Where you didn't really have that with the original series as much until we got to like apocalypse shit.
Some of the storylines there. And I will say the original series was always very true to the source material. And this is something that I really enjoy about the X-Men 97 continuation. And something, I actually was just talking to Harloff about this, was I don't think right now a lot of superhero movies and content are giving the audience the grace to be intelligent.
Oh yeah. That's like something I learned, when I was getting training. All the way back in middle school, high school. Miss Schlobaum, she would always say, "Don't ever make your audience feel stupid. Mm-hmm. They're smarter than you think. You just have to trust them to follow you on this journey."
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly right. And again, going back to the children's show thing, they're like, we have to dumb this down for these Rugrats.
Yeah. Well, they do it for adult television now as well, because the whole idea of second screening. But if you have a really boring, stupid show, yeah, I am going to go check my phone. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't. I should be totally enthralled.
Invested in what you're watching.
It's why I think we gravitate towards Apple TV so much. Because all of their programming is like, what? What is happening? Yeah. What is this?
And like many fewer commercials.
Yeah, that's very true too.
Man, I fucking hate those.
I mean, I don't mind them, but that's because I voice
that's
commercials.
Your bread and
so
butter.
I'm like, let me study it. But to that end, I think this series has always really respected the source material, has been brave enough to do weird comic booky stuff and know that the audience will support them along the way. Yeah. And X-Men 97 just really leans into that even more in a way that the TV shows, the live action stuff, frankly, has not.
Yeah. You're right. You're right there. Because, I can watch this on a TV, or you have these producers that are like, this needs to make back $180 million in 2 days.
Yep.
Otherwise, we are fucked.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. I digress, though.
Oh, no, I got one more.
You got one more? Okay.
Yeah. Even going back to the original, not even 97, the original, they were like, we know kids are watching this.
Yeah.
The X-Men have been a thing since the 60s. We know they're probably into it. But they were never like, this is a show about racism and homophobia.
And we're going to feature genocide.
Yeah. They didn't, have to punch that down. Even as kids were like, yeah, I fucking get it. Mm-hmm. And
kids are smart.
In the same way with, any Spider-Man story. Here's what you need to know about Spider-Man. Bit by a spider, high school kid, super genius, great power, great responsibility. Go.
Yeah.
Do
your thing.
You don't need any more than that.
Really, I know. I was like, we're going to get back on our main quest. I'm going to continue to side quest.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend this show to children?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's okay for kids to watch, but I'm not a parent, and I know, obviously, neither are you.
Yeah, I mean...
Unless you have a secret family, bitch.
I can barely take care of myself.
Where would they be?
That closet. I got them buried under the floorboards.
Oh, God.
I visit them on Halloween. No, God, what I just totally
Kids
derailed
watching
you.
X-Men at 97.
Oh yeah, well I think kids. I mean, I wouldn't show it to like a 4-year-old,
No.
but I sure as shit would show it to a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. First grade, second grade, when they start seeing this part of the world that's not just Looney Tunes and SpongeBob, and you want to teach those lessons young.
Okay.
It's also like our generation. We always have that complainy joke of they should have taught us how to do taxes in high school. Yeah, and kids should learn about injustice and how to root it out at a very early age. Because I got bullied quite a bit in school.
What? That's shocking.
I know, because of the everything about me. But if I saw other kids getting bullied, watching those superhero shows, you're like, no, I got to stand up for them because they can't defend themselves. Right? But then with 97, and things are more complicated in this adult world and this current landscape that we found ourselves dragged into, we are becoming a lot more conscious of those. Is this the right thing? Code of Jeff. Does this need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? And does it need to be said by me right now?
Yeah.
And I think get the kids on the bandwagon early for stuff like that.
You guys weigh in. If you were a parent, would you allow your kid to watch this show? And at what age? Also, if you can hear a leaf blower, I'm so sorry.
The gardener only comes when we're recording in the booth or doing the podcast. That's it. Or teaching class.
It's never the set schedule.
No.
It's wild. I approve and thank him for his services. I'm not in charge of anything here.
Yeah.
We rent. Thank you, though. So, sorry if you can hear that noise. So, last time on X-Men, here's what you mixed. We're going to just kind of rapid fire some of this.
Sure.
And feel free, Logan, to add on whatever you want to here.
Oh, you're letting me be for both?
I'm letting you. What a kindness.
Fancy that. Because that's not like me at all.
No, not even a little bit.
No?
So, we have Magneto leading the X-Men.
Yep, which has happened in the comics.
Yeah, absolutely. He is fulfilling Charles Xavier's dream of mutant-human equality, or the hope of it. So he's leading the X-Men, and he has to do it in a very Charles Xavier manner. He cannot be smiting and smoting humans all left and right. He's got to be a good guy.
Yeah. Well, he's got to be a better guy.
Better guy. He's still going to do it in his, Eric way, but...
That's a very unique thing about Magneto that I love, is that once he broke bad, he kind of never got out of it. Even though he spent time in the 90s in the comic books with amnesia. He thought his name was Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun arc.
It is a very fun arc. Not a lot of people liked it. And then, because you can't take... But then you're just like, oh, Magneto, bad guy. Again, you watch it young, and then you go, oh, fuck. You realize the more you read these books, it's like, he survived the fucking Holocaust. And when you learn about that, I had, my grandparents were German. My grandfather, on my dad's side, fought in World War II. So we learned about that young.
Yeah.
And how it was brutal. In school, when it was, all right, we're reaching the end of elementary, we're going to have to talk about the war. And I was like, I know this shit already.
Yeah.
But then filling that out and, being at an age where you are understanding the breadth of things.
Sure.
Where it was like, oh, yeah, hey, 6-year-old, we fought in wars. One of them was World War II. There was a really bad guy named Adolf Hitler, and he did a lot of bad things to a lot of good people. And you're like, got it! And then it's 10th grade, and you're like, they did what to who?
Yeah. Well, and on top of it, when you have that familial connection, and it shouldn't come at this cost. It shouldn't be you have to be connected to a history to understand it. But when you've been raised with that understanding of it absolutely affecting your grandparents and everything, it is incredibly shocking and jarring.
It was a lot easier, and I think that comes down to, Grandma and Grandpa Pete's. A lot of it was Mary, my mother, where I learned empathy young. I learned how to care about people very quickly. Having that empathetic understanding, I think, at a young age is so important and useful, and X-Men is such a good glimpse into, oh, damn, I'm getting subjugated every day. I'm still going to go out and try to do the right thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to Magneto.
Yeah.
We also have Storm gaining and losing her powers.
Lost and then again.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Excuse me. Swap that, reverse it. Through the help of Forge, assisting her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also kind of him trying to rectify the fact that some of his tech was used to develop the tech that was used to take
Sure.
Storm's powers.
I wish they developed their relationship a little bit more.
Yeah, as opposed to just like, I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
Can you blame him?
No.
Sweet Swoo, don't mind if I do.
I mean, I can't blame her either.
Everyone in the show, really hot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to shift those units. Sell those toys. I also want to see more of Logan and Jubilee. They were a great duo for so long.
Mm-hmm. I do want more of that.
I love Jubilee.
Yeah, she's fun. She's a great
I
character.
wanted to be for Halloween when I was younger.
Your parents were just like, you can't be a young Asian woman?
Yeah, Dad was like, no. You can be Sonic.
There you go. Plus, that way you get to eat a chili dog.
I don't think I had a chili dog until I was in high school.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're so good.
Oh my gosh. What were you doing in Nebraska? Come on.
Not a lot. There wasn't a lot to do.
Eat a chili dog.
My town, when I was in high school, my town like exploded with excitement because they were putting in a fucking water park.
Whoa, that is cool though.
At a high school age, I was like, yeah, this might not be for me anymore. I think I only went twice.
Okay. We also established, this is very important to me, that Rogue and Magneto bumped uglies.
Yeah.
This is huge to me.
And obviously causes...
Well, they're not a thing.
Well,
they were a thing.
They're a thing enough that Gambit's like, hey, fuck you guys. And, again, that fractured relationship with Gambit. But then Rogue is like, Magneto's leading the team. I think this is the right thing to do.
He's also propositioned to be this kind of like leader for Genosha, and his little caveat to that is, then Rogue has to rule with me. Yeah. Because she understands empathy on a level that I don't.
Yeah.
And so that was part of her initially going, hey, not only can Eric touch me because of his magnetism powers, but also we're going to be in this leadership position. And then she still, at the end, when she thinks she's going to be with Eric, goes, no, it's not enough.
Yeah.
And knows that she wants to be with Gambit.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. Also, I mean, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Magneto, looks-wise, in this show, he's a 10.
Yeah.
He's a 10, but he always refers to himself as the master of magnetism. Ick.
Well, I don't think that's any different than like us going out, up to a stranger and then being like, oh, I'm an actor.
Oh, I never open with it. I'm never
When
like,
it's-
Chris Carr, I'm an actor.
I mean, it's him being himself and being super self-important because you will never see a story, amnesia aside, where Magneto doesn't have one of the biggest egos in the world.
100%.
Yeah.
And I also understand Gambit refers to himself in third person, but I don't know, for some reason, that bothers me so much less than Magneto's constant, yes, the master of magnetism was confused by this invitation. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Just
And then
FYI.
he'll, like, I think every once in a while, he'll call himself Magnus. I'm like, motherfucker, your name's Eric.
Doing a lot of
Get it
rebranding here,
together.
man. Come on. Well, and Charles will refer to him as Magnus, too, which is sweet. It's nice when your bestie calls you your preferred name. I do appreciate that. Okay, we also have Jean having a clone, Madeline Pryor. That clone having a baby.
Yep.
That baby being Cable.
No, that one's Rachel.
No.
Oh, this one's Cable.
This one's Cable.
This one's Cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel's going to be the actual, like, Jean Grey
Jean
child.
and Scott.
But biologically, Jean is still his mother from a DNA standpoint.
From cloning.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So we have
Sinister.
that. That baby is sent into the future because of a virus from Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, the technovirus.
So that baby's in the future. That baby becomes Cable and everything. We learn that Charles Xavier is not dead.
Yeah.
He's just been in space.
Yep.
Hanging out with the Shiara.
Yeah.
Getting lucky with the Empress. Getting engaged.
What is the Empress's name?
Leandra.
Oh, I think that's right. That sounds right.
Yeah. So we have that. We have Magneto pulling the adamantium out of Wolverine. That was horrific.
Yeah, great classic comic.
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened. 'Cause then he
Fatal
goes-
Attraction is the name of that one, isn't it?
Can't remember, but then
Okay.
after he gets that ripped out, it was so painful that it fractured his mind, and he became feral Logan.
Yeah.
And boy, that was a rough few years for him.
It's crazy, which we know from the trailers. I'm pretty annoyed by it, honestly. We knew he was going to get like that coating back on his skeleton again, but immediately we see the claws go up with the snicket gleaming metal. It was, oh man,
Yeah.
let me see some Bone Claw for a little
I
while
thought-
longer.
Well, yeah. I wonder what that'd do to the rating, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story of him kind of losing his mind. What I immediately thought was going to happen, because I mean, we all know Apocalypse is going to be in season 2. All right, Wolverine is going to be one of the 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse. Great, I love that story, but I don't think they're doing that.
Well, no, because what they're probably going to do is we know that at the Battle of Genosha, the genocide of Genosha, Gambit sacrifices himself, loses his life. But then we got that tease at the end of Apocalypse holding one of his cards.
Yeah.
And it has already been so heavily.
And Gambit was one of the 4 horsemen too.
Exactly.
Same with Archangel.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone's been a horseman of the
At some
Apocalypse
point,
at this point.
At some point, they all have. But Gambit's more than likely coming back. I'm going to give that a 99% chance that he comes back.
Yeah.
Because that just makes sense. And comic books, no one, for the most part, is ever permadead.
Yeah, it's just
Uncle the Wayne parents.
Uncle Ben and Martha and
Thomas
Jones.
Thomas Jones?
Wayne. Tom Jones? The singer
You know,
from Wales.
good old Bruce Jones, millionaire playboy.
Land of my father.
I'm so excited to see who gets that reference.
No one.
No one. Okay, we also have, then at the end, the X-Men scattered through time.
Yeah.
So we have Jean and Scott going to the future. What's up, Cable? They're in like the year like 3600 or something. I don't know. And then we have Magneto, Rogue, Beast, and Nightcrawler back in the past in ancient Egypt, where they see a fresher apocalypse.
Where he's I can't remember his Egyptian name.
And Sabor, it's a something like that.
It always reminds me of Hellboy's real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always escapes me though. But so what we're probably going to have for season 2 is going through those 3 different timelines, kind of toggling.
Time travel shit.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Playing around with those with the various apocalypses.
Mm-hmm.
Apocalypse-y? Apocalypse-I?
I don't know.
All right.
Some Kane shit.
Yeah. And so we'll definitely get that 4 horsemen kind of storyline in there. Some people have speculated too that this could be that the 12 story where he's getting like the 12 powerful Omega level X-Men to like help power him and rise to his ascension and everything. The trailer for season 2 is just chock full of so much.
Of like, yeah, and you'll watch it and you'll be like, how are they gonna get that in? How are they gonna work that around?
I didn't pick this up until I watched it again with you. Did you catch that moment where you see that kind of like cyborgy character?
No.
The very like feminine looking android?
Is that Danger?
It's Danger, yeah. So that's another crazy thing they're going to do is have like sentient Danger Room show up.
Yeah.
Are there anything like any storylines you think are going to happen in season 2?
Well, okay, they're gonna do Days of Future Past.
We got that little Easter eggy image too with Forge in the Kitty Pryde or sometimes Wolverine.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Yeah.
That's a foregone conclusion, keeping in a lot more of that dark tone of this iteration of the show. Okay, and I want to talk to you about this.
Okay.
With time travel stuff, who do you want to see? Because we did, when we were looking stuff up, people online were like, oh, that there's a character in the background with pink hair. That's got to be Kid Omega. But in 1997, Kid Omega isn't even born yet.
Kid Omega isn't even an idea.
Yeah, if Quentin is... Now, if we do time travel, it would be really interesting to get Quentin and Magneto in the same room.
Sure.
Because Quentin could possibly out-ego Magneto.
Absolutely.
And, he's also an Omega level, so we can play with that. Another one I want to see, coming back from the future, give me Nate Gray. Give me X-Man.
Ooh.
I would love to see X-Man.
That'd be fun.
He never gets play anymore. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be very, very fun.
We saw Strong Guy, didn't we?
When we're getting more Strong Guy.
Getting more Strong
Good old Guido. I love him.
He's one of my favorite underutilized X-Men character.
I mean, he was in the roll call as one of those trailers, so I think we're
Mhm.
going to have him featured a lot more this season,
Oh, I
which
like
is
that.
great. And I think a lot of people misunderstand his power too. He absorbs kinetic energy and then turns that into muscle mass and
Mhm.
power, which is so much cooler than just being a big guy.
Big strong guy. Well, he's a big strong guy anyway.
Yeah.
But this gets him even crazy more powerful.
Yeah.
And he's so much fun.
Before we talk about who we want to see, we should talk about who we know we're going to too.
Sure.
So we've got Polaris coming in.
Great.
And for those who don't know,
Magneto's daughter.
also has the ability to control magnetism and such.
Yeah, pretty much the same power set, just not as strong.
Yeah, cool green hair. A lot of times is featured having bipolar disorder, and that's also been met with some mixed criticism on how they've handled it. Of, are you actually representing this in a good way? Are you using this as a crutch to write your character in a way that is not always an evenly keeled version of the character? You know, where sometimes it's, is that how Polaris acts? And they go, I don't know, mental health.
Well, and I think it's a big part of that is, again, we were saying earlier, get the kids learning how this stuff works early. And, you know, when we were growing up, nobody talked about mental health.
No.
Nobody talked about bipolar. No one talked about autism. No one talked about depression. No one talked about, you know, taking yourself out of the equation. But now I think it got to a point where they're like, we have to say something about it.
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up in the 90s, no one was ready for that conversation yet. And now
really needed to.
Now it is championed so much, you know.
And for any of you who go, oh my gosh, but if they include that, the story's woke. Tell me you've never read an X-Men comic.
Yeah. They started woke. They were wide awake.
Yeah. Calm down, touch some grass, and come up with a better argument for why you don't like diversity and inclusion. Go search your mind. See why you really feel that way. On top of Polaris, we are also going to have Wolfsbane.
I fucking love Wolfsbane.
Oh, which, I mean,
she's so cool.
She's rad. Scottish mutant who basically is a werewolf.
A werewolf. Yeah.
Can turn into a proper wolf, but then can also stay in that kind of like hybrid space.
She's got that kind of that same thing with Nightcrawler, where it's like, you look different.
Yeah, you are for sure a mutant.
Yeah.
Which is very, very cool. I love her character design too. Really fun. Siren's in the mix.
Siren, remind me.
Banshee's daughter.
Oh, yeah, Banshee's daughter.
Which, okay, because I'm pretty sure Banshee is one of the people who is dead from
Maybe.
Genosha.
That would be a shame. I love Banshee.
I know, and we only
Give me
got
an Irish superhero.
we got a little like blurb of him right at that table talk.
Mm.
So it will be interesting to see, hey, are we going to dive into like my dad was killed at Genosha? Are we going to get into any of like the Black Tom Cassidy of it all, of Siren being a criminal raised by her uncle and then kind of taking up her father's mantle?
I think if she's going to be in this, we will absolutely get that.
I think so. Which, Black Tom Cassidy, I was trying to remember his powers. I just remember having a shillelagh.
Yeah. I believe it's plants.
Okay, yeah, plant manipulation?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Could be wrong. I'll have to fact check that.
We see Psylocke in here, and not just the kind of morph being Psylocke in a fight. Psylocke is supposed to be featured, which is pretty cool. Telepath, telekinetic, ninja, sometimes.
I'm curious if we're getting her like kind of pink ninja outfit before her mind gets put into Betty Brant. Or no,
Betty Braddock. And
Betty Braddock.
Or Betsy Braddock. And isn't that switched?
No.
Oh, I thought, because she's Captain Britain's twin sister.
Yeah.
And then I thought her brain was put into another body.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. I got that mixed up.
As I'm like, movies need to be brave about doing what comics do. And both of us are going, wait, when was her brain put into whose body? So I get it to an extent.
I've always loved Psylocke. She's
just cool.
Always this very like calm, collected, wild card. Where she is so stoic, but then she's like, I killed 19 people today.
Yeah. Oh, you know who I love, who draws her so well? Freaking J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah.
Good old Jay does a good job. Oh.
There's women with half their
You love
clothes
to
off.
see.
That's his bread and butter.
I love it. The way he does her and Magic. I'm always like, Scott, good job.
Magic would be a fun one to see.
Oh, Magic would be great to see. I would love that. We have Havoc.
Havoc.
So this is something
much more interesting. Summers brother.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about this off camera. So in the original 90 series, they do not establish that Alex and Scott are brothers. They don't acknowledge it, right? There's like a little bit of like kind of weird that our powers can cancel each other out. And for those of you who don't know, Havoc, unlike Cyclops, who has that constant plasma beam, right, where his eyes are open, it's just again, it's a kinetic absorption and release thing where it's a beam basically from his tummy. He's doing the Care Bear stare.
Chest.
Chest? I always thought it was tummy.
No, it's like-
Well, it's right. It's a big old thing.
Yeah.
I still view it as a Care Bear stare.
That's fair.
Thank you. So I'm interested to see if they do the brother dynamic there.
Mhm.
And also, Havoc and Polaris are often coupled together too. So that could be
Oh,
interesting.
I can't recall that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have Multiple Man.
Multiple Man. I love a dupe character.
Yeah.
I love dupes. They are
Mhm.
so interesting to me.
I'm very
Um,
excited about it.
Yeah.
I think
I-
that's going to be super fun.
There was this game. It was a superhero tabletop game,
Mhm.
and you don't see dupe powers in games like that very often.
Ooh.
So I was like, "Oh, I'm absolutely doing this." And his name was Everyman, and so he would
Love.
make a dupe, and send them out on missions,
Mhm.
and he was a one-man spy ring.
That's cool.
It was a cool character.
That's
man.
really fun. I love that. I'm excited to see him utilized in this. I think it's going to be really cool. I know both of us aren't super jazzed about this. We're getting a more heavily featured Emma Frost.
Yeah,
Scott Summers is already so goddamn messy.
yeah. God,
He does not need Emma Frost in the mix.
yeah. He doesn't. He
Who?
doesn't live in the doghouse. He fucking bought it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do with her.
Yeah.
Because again, we saw her on Genosha.
She-
We see her playing well with the other mutants.
But the thing about Emma Frost, though, is her stories are either incredibly compelling or dog shit to me.
I mean,
Right.
at least they're polarizing. I would
When
prefer that
she-
than a middle ground. Like, it's fine.
When she was hooking up with Cyclops, I was like, this is great. This is going to get so bad and be so interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they don't do something like that, because I
I
think
mean,
Emma would change her form to look like Jean.
ooh, kind of like how Morph did with Wolverine in
Yeah.
that little moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's who I don't want to see in this season.
Who?
As much of a fan favorite, we've just had too much goddamn Jean Grey for too long. You sit her out.
you're gonna see her. She's heavily featured.
I know, but I'm tired of Jean Grey. She's not interesting.
I understand. I also am not a huge Jean Grey fan,
Mm-mm.
but I've been liking what they've been doing with her in the series.
Yeah.
I think it's been interesting, and I think honestly, what's more interesting was that Morph Wolverine moment to me of I'm gonna do you this kindness, but also I'm deeply in love with you.
Mhm.
I love the Morphin Wolverine thing. Oh, someone else who we saw in the trailer, Exodus.
Exodus.
There's a sword fight between him and Nightcrawler. That's very exciting. If you don't know Exodus, he is a mutant from way back in the Crusades, an absolute, like, just kind of nut job who is...
You would be if you lived that long.
That's very true. He's immortal. He's got teleportation powers as well, so that's going to be really interesting against Nightcrawler.
That'll be a great fight scene.
I'm very excited
That'll
about
be a
that
really
one.
great fight scene.
But so those characters aside, and also some of the people who have passed, because Shaw's out of play, Dazzler's out of play, which
That
I know
sucks.
we're both
I love
bummed.
Dazzler.
I hope they bring her back somehow, because Dazzler's not gotten a fair shake, and she's Kevin Feige's favorite. So why do they keep just fridging her? I don't understand it.
Well, Dazzler's story is odd
Sure.
and complicated because she was a massive pop star.
Mhm.
When they started writing her in the 70s. She was a disco queen.
Yeah.
And her powers with light manipulation or sound manipulation into light, kind of Jubilee-ish. The X-Men, the Avengers, they'd all come to her and be like, hey man, you've got something real special and you could really help the world out. Join our team. And she's like, fuck no. I want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing any of that. And so she hid because, she was a mutant. Everything changes when people find out you're a mutant. And then she met this guy and they fell for each other. And she told him, and he was like, dude, you should tell the world. Because if you tell the world, it's going to make people not scared of mutants as much. Because if there's this massive pop star who's a mutant, well, they already bought your album, man. So she goes to perform a show, and she's got like jet engines there to create a bunch of sound, but it overloads her. She gets too like frazzled, and instead of like doing a light show like she had planned, she just blows up a bunch of the venue, and people are horrified. They're running away in fear. She like had to go into hiding. So one of the most interesting things about Dazzler was, I just want to be a star. I don't want to be a hero. They took it away because of a boy. And I'm like, you kind of shat the bed on that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Dazzler. Love her so much.
Mm-hmm. Is there anyone else that you would like featured? Should the show continue to get greenlit season after season? And why wouldn't it?
Again, X-Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've talked a lot before. We want Marrow.
I want Marrow and I want Maggot.
Explain those two characters.
They're Morlocks.
Okay.
Morlocks are they're the sect of mutants that are transformed in a way where, again, kind of like Nightcrawler and Wolfsbane, where we know you're a mutant and we hate your kind.
And they have been featured in X-Men 97 previously.
Yeah.
Leech, for example, and some of those other people that are around him, those are Morlocks.
But Marrow, her power is her bones don't stop growing.
Yeah.
She's got a healing factor, and her bones will come out of her skin. And so she'll pull them out and use them as weapons. She'll shoot bones at people. She'll use like her forearms as katanas. But she she's horrifying to look at, which they ended up changing in the comics with Krakoa, the arc going on, and how now she has a lot more control over the bone growth.
Yeah.
They made like all of the facial disfiguration go away. Now, Maggot is one of my favorite niche, unique mutants that I don't think they would ever do, because, I mean, how do you do that? It's this African kid, and he grew up really sick, and he like was so frail and so small, and like always on the brink of starvation. And then he became a mutant. All of his skin turned blue, and it turns out there are two like giant maggots that act as his stomach. So he was feeding himself, but the maggots were eating for him. So now he uses that as a power. He'll like use them to attack and block. He'll have him eat stuff, and then the maggots will go back into his abdomen, and that's how he eats now. He is so amazing and weird, because that was when the X-Men were trying to be like even edgier than they always have been.
Sure.
But I would like to see those two a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marrow's be a big one for me.
Yeah.
I'd like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know they've gotten tons of play, but that little Forge moment shows us that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are off-world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see them, and especially if we're already featuring one of Magneto's children.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the others.
Do we do the problematic arc of them kind of hooking up?
Ooh, no. There's so much incest on TV right now. We don't need it.
Yeah.
We just don't need it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Oh, that's fair.
Ugh. Oh, man. Anything else that you were really hoping for this one?
I mean, they can't do it, but I'd like to see, like, if they go to the future, I'd like to see, like, if they deal with the knowledge of Krakoa, which is a living island.
Yeah.
And what's going on there, it's a living island, it will only let mutants on it. And this is when Charles, because in the comics he died,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came back, but not as himself. He was Phantom X, who was horribly violent and tough to like. And then it turns out, Charles transferred his mind into this person's body and is now running the show. Charles always, again, Charles breaks bad all the time. It's just we know him as the leader of the X-Men, so we're like, I'll forgive ya. But I'd like to see if they bring in this group of mutants on Krakoa, and they each have a very unique power that Krakoa lets them access, of taking, like, essentially the soul of a person, getting him... Oh, and there are portals all over the world that any mutant can walk through except for Shadowcat,
Because the island doesn't like
because
her.
Island hates her. But you can walk in a portal, you'll go to Krakoa. If a mutant dies, they can essentially gather your spirit, get it to the island, incubate it in an egg created by another mutant, and then you come out and you still have all your memories. There's like no confusion. So they're like, hey, we can be as reckless as we want in fights now.
You know what's wild? That Marvel Move game that I'm in.
Yeah.
They deal with that.
Oh yeah.
They deal with in a X-Men running app. They deal with the eggs. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Who
I'm
else? I'm
excited.
trying to think of anybody else I'd really want to see. What villains would I want to see? Spiral would be fun.
Cool.
I wish we could see more of Lady Deathstrike, but that ship sailed.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who I really like is I like Sunfire. I like the Blob.
Oh, the Blob is so fun.
I would love some more Colossus and Kitty stuff.
Yeah.
Man, the Banshee would be another one, but we're
R.I.P.
pretty certain he's dead.
R.I.P. Are there any comics that you'd recommend outside of, the 12 or anything like that for people who are really enjoying X-Men 97?
Oh, go back again. That the arc, the issue where Magneto pulls the adamantium off of Wolverine's body. That's great stuff. The 90s arc. That's when they went crazy. I mean, everyone had 15 pouches and 92 buckles on their costume. Thanks, Rob Liefeld. But a lot of that stuff is great because the Cable stuff. 90s is when Deadpool started.
Yeah.
He was, if you read those comics, unrecognizable today.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he was based on Slade Wilson. And so they wanted to Marvel wanted to have one of those kind of DC characters, but make him a little bit more cutting edge. So they're like, all right, well, he's got a great healing factor, but he has cancer that is just ravaging his body. He looks like a raisin took a shit on a summer day, and he's going to be a little funny. And yeah, now he's
the merc with the mouth.
What Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool, he completely revitalized that character. Especially, even before, I think it was before, Brian Posehn was writing the Deadpool comics.
Mm-hmm.
And what's better than a stand-up comedian with deep understanding of Marvel Comics to write a book? That was a no-brainer to me.
I don't feel like Reynolds reinvented the character.
I think he
made it his own. Yeah.
I think he refined it.
But that fourth wall break and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which, once again, he is not the first character to do that. That's She-Hulk. Thank you very much. But once he starts getting into that fourth wall breaking, I know I'm a comic book character. I know what's going on here. That's all super fun. And now I think it's kind of an intrinsically tied thing. The same way that I feel, based on Gail Simone's comments, that there is no world in which we have a live action Plastic Man that's not Ben Schwartz. Because when I read those comics that Gail Simone's done, that's Ben Schwartz. She wrote it for him.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see the influence that Ryan Reynolds has had on Deadpool and vice versa.
With a lot of them. Old Man Logan, right? Yeah. They were like, Hugh Jackman, he's the one. He nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see Logan being really influenced by the films.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they'd do that with
that
Jean.
comic came out first, though. The comic came out before the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Old Man Logan?
Yeah.
No, I think that was after the first X-Men movie.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
I thought you were making it sound like the movie Logan influenced the Old Man Logan character.
No. Other way around.
Okay, that's
but
why.
But they used Hugh Jackman as that template for That's Wolverine. I'm excited to see how that changes in live action. Please let it be Taron Egerton.
Oh, I'd love that.
Or Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wish. Speaking of movies and kind of like the movies and kind of going back and influencing these characters in the books, I wish they'd do that with Jean Grey from The Last Stand and just kill her, keep her dead. Let Wolverine have hallucinations about her in the forest and then make friends with a bear. All right.
Do you also hate Jean Grey? Let us know your thoughts.
She's just boring.
I don't think she's boring. I think she's been overdone. And I think
yeah.
a lot of the things that she does are insufferable, especially because we see them done over and over and over again.
It's kind of like how I felt, especially that last season of Game of Thrones and now House of the Dragon. I'm like, there's just too much fucking Game of Thrones stuff.
Sure.
I don't want to live in Westeros anymore. And I don't care about Jean becoming the Phoenix. I want to see Cyclops become the Phoenix.
To me, it's like how I'll like something
Mhm.
and then you watch it 7,000 times a day and then I hate it.
Yeah, I did that with the second Wolverine movie.
Yep. And with Rocket Man and with
Moana,
Moana and with
Muppets.
Taskmaster.
Yeah, Taskmaster.
Muppets, it never got to a point of hate. It just got to a point of like, could we watch a different Muppet? Yeah.
I like that's my comfort zone.
Sure.
Rewatching stuff
I get that.
takes the demons away.
I let him live here rent free. Logan,
What?
do you have anything to promote? Perhaps a class that starts this Saturday?
Oh yeah, I have classes. I'm doing a breath intensive class this Saturday.
Yeah.
Teaching you guys how to properly use your breath, break down the chambers of the voice so you can access more of that breath, and it's not just using your chest to breathe. It's a lot of poetry, breaking that down, being able to really break down and understand a character. Because, I've said this to my students 1,000 times, I'll say it 1 billion times more. Breath is the most important facet, cornerstone, baseline of acting, right? Breath is the first thing we do when we're born. It's the last thing we do when we die. I think of it as a cover to a book. Your story is the pages, but it's the breath that holds you together to tell that story.
That's going to happen Saturday at
Saturday
1
at
p.m.
1.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
You can sign up online or you can email Speak Friends Studio so you can get a $20 discount through Venmo. Woo!
Woo!
Very exciting. SpeakFriendsStudio.com. That's where we teach. That's where we live. God, there are so many noises happening in our house.
What was that noise? It sounded
I don't know.
like a Mortal Kombat grunt.
It's the joys of recording in your own home. Ah.
Well, the commute's easy.
That's very true. God, it's such a better commute.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Baby, thanks for being here. I mean, I know
My
you're
pleasure.
always here, but thanks for being here. This is nice.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Love you.
Love you too. Let me know when you want me back.
Okay.
Have you done a Doctor Who episode yet?
You did a Doctor Who episode.
Oh, yeah, I did. Huh?
Remember, we were like, oh no, we did. It was one of our first ones where we went, so we can't do a show like this ever again.
Yeah.
Where we needed to do hey, we need you to pick a doctor.
Yeah.
Because that was
I did that.
too much.
I did Rocket.
You did Rocket. Did the Black Parade.
Black Parade. Yeah, my camera did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got weird taste, man.
That's okay.
Next time we'll do Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull and why it's an amazing movie.
You're going to save that for your podcast.
It's amazing. It's so good.
I love that you love that.
Yep. That's going to be the next one I watch to death. See if you really hate
I do.
it.
Well, until next time, he's Logan Peets.
That's Kris Carr.
And remember, if you followed this fandom, you'd be home by now. But really, it's a bad movie. It's not as bad as the most recent one. It's a bad movie.
It's so good.
No.
Yeah.